Today in the studio, I'm joined by Mr. Sherpherd Makonde. He is a legal practitioner and holds a Master's of Law in Human Rights and Constitutional Law. Makonde is also a public prosecutor and currently working in the victim-friendly court. Today, he's going to shed more light about gender-based violence with regards to his work in the victim-friendly court. Mr. Makonde, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm pleased to have you here. I guess to kickstart, what are some of the challenges that you have identified in the victim-friendly court with regards to gender-based violence?
The challenges which we have noticed within the court starts with the victims themselves. They are the big challenge in as much as GBV is concerned, because most of these victims, maybe when they came forward and report the cases, they will start to want to withdraw the cases against the perpetrators. Some of the victims, they don't report. And when they report, they will start to settle at a family level. And that is a major challenge which we face. But with the legal systems themselves, there are no challenges at all. We are very free and we are very welcome to the victims, and we intend to assist them through counseling and also through legal channels. But themselves, they are the major problems.
Okay, so gender-based violence is on the rise in Zimbabwe. Do we have any improvements in prosecutions of gender-based violence at our courts?
Yes, of course. Prosecutions, they are increasing in as much as these gender violence cases are also on the rise. You will see some of these things before the Constitution, these rights were somewhere in the air. But now the legal systems, they've been developed over time and they are developing to suit the global requirements. You understand, our Constitution is very, 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 very comprehensive Constitution, which protects the rights of the women, the rights of men, the rights of children. And also we have got the DVA, the Domestic Violence Act. It also protects the rights of all the children and also the female and male. To make it very clear, our laws as we stand, they protect even girlfriends, they protect even small houses, if I may use that name. And they may also protect even those estranged wives and those who are on separation, and also the children which are born in wedlock and also out of wedlock. So tiri kuona kuti mtemo wedu cover everyone is protected under the law. And our duty as the courts and as lawyers is to apply the law as we are given the law by the lawmakers. So the laws are in place and we are ready to prosecute, and we are also ready to help the victims. So the legal system itself is very clear, and the prosecutions of the cases are on a rise because we are ready to go.
So the justice system is not leaving anyone behind?
No, not anyone behind. Everyone who is covered by the law have got the right of audience before the courts.
Okay. Does the Criminal Procedure and Evidence Act cover all the forms of gender-based violence?
Yes, the Criminal Evidence and Procedure Act is there to support the procedures and how the claims and how the evidence is led in the courts. But it's only there to supplement that which emanates from the Criminal Codification and Reform Act, and also that which emanates from the Constitution and the DVA. So it covers all those things. There is no discrimination as to types of GBVs which may be entertained or covered by the law. So it covers everything.
Okay, and we find that our traditional courts have been handling cases of gender-based violence for a very long time now. Very, very long time. Do you feel that this should continue? Should our traditional courts continue handling cases of gender-based violence?
I don't see any problem with traditional courts handling GBVs because they are within the society. The reason why we are fighting GBV is because we want harmony, we want peace, respect of women's rights, respect of children's rights, and respect of men's rights. Everyone's rights must be protected. So that is another channel which is available to reconcile families, to restore order within the society. So there's anything wrong. If we scrape the traditional courts, the powers to intermediate between victims and perpetrators, then it means that those who are in rural areas, who have more time to travel from rural areas to urban areas to report GBV, they will suffer more violence.
Is the victim-friendly court doing something to help perpetrators? Because yes, it's the victim-friendly court, but remember, the perpetrator is probably someone who is very close to the victim. Are there any remedies to help perpetrators when it comes to gender-based violence?
The remedies are always there. At the court, we are there to punish offenders. And the reason of punishing offenders is not being cruelty or whatsoever. It's not cruelty. We are just trying to make a person reform. Maybe at the end of the punishment, that person will be a reformed person and will realize that what he's doing is bad. So we do counseling, we do punish. In those ways, they have a deterrent effect and they can curb more cases of gender-based violence. And will not be only educating the person, the perpetrator who will be before the court, but also the society like that. No, gender-based violence is not a way to go. It's not good, and you must stop. So those who see that someone has been punished for gender-based violence, they will not continue committing such acts within the society. And some of them, they will report the cases. So the victim-friendly court, we cannot go out and look for victims. We are not like activists. We are a court. We are there to determine the cases which are brought before the courts, and with those victims who are willing to assist us with evidence, with information, so that we can help them. So we are always ready, and we can always assist in being poor, being rich, being white, being black. We are ready to help and assist everyone. And the remedies are available within the law.
What is the minimum sentence for a perpetrator of gender-based violence?
The minimum, they differ. Some of them, they can be warned. That is the minimum sentence someone can get. You will be warned and cautioned. The maximum depends on the degree of harm which has been suffered by the victim. So the sentence is determined by the degree of harm, the way or the manner in which the perpetrator abused the victim. So those will be considered in sentencing. But obviously, there are jail terms which stretch up to 25 years or more.
And have you ever had repeat offenders?
Yeah, most of these gender-based violence perpetrators, some of them is like they cannot repent. There are many cases whereby you see the same person coming back to court.
And what do you do with repeat offenders?
Now it will be aggravated now. Then repeat offenders faces very serious sentences because they would have shown the court that they don't want to repent and they're hardcore criminals. So the court will tighten the screws and try to give a stiffer penalty. Maybe that person will reform. Yes. And the courts cannot even stop to punish. If you come every day, we'll punish you and give you the sentence which you deserve, even until you die. We continue sentencing. We cannot have mess.
Oh, you cannot have mercy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So what are your feelings with regards to gender-based violence, working in the victim-friendly court, every day going to work, coming across victims, talking to victims? What are your feelings with regards to GBV?
As a legal person, I have to be neutral. So I don't have much feelings into the GBV. But I don't condone the act, but I have to be neutral, because the way I will become too much involved or have too much feelings, I will lose the idea, I lose the mind to determine the case before, and I might fail to help because I'm too emotional or I'm into the matter too much. So I develop day by day to adopt and try to listen and try to help without feelings, but in the eyes of the law, making sure that the law is applied to help a person. So that's I don't have any feelings towards GBV victims.
Thank you so much.
It affects me too much even, but I don't show it.
Oh, you don't show it?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sure gender-based violence affects all of us, whether we are directly affected or indirectly affected, one way or the other. We are all equally affected. Do you have any advice to victims of gender-based violence suffering in silence?
Yes, the advice to remain the same, that the victims of GBV must report matters. There are so many channels to report matters, and you can be represented if you cannot say yourself. Section 3 of DVA is very clear that a police officer can be a representative, a church member, an employee, a pastor. These organizations like Msasa Project and other organizations, they can also be your representatives. So anyone can use any channel to report. And if they report, I just try to advise this victim that let the law take its course. Because most of them, they'll end up obstructing justice. Because the first day they come and report whilst their emotions are very high and they're angry, in the road, they buy groceries together, the perpetrators. They eat one supper. Tomorrow they will come and no, I want to withdraw. I have forgiven my father. I want to withdraw. I have forgiven my husband. I want to withdraw. I'm related to this person. So it's not good for us in the society to report against him. So these things, the family ties, I think they must be dropped and let the law take its course. If a person reports for GBV, and to those who are in silent, please report and talk to someone who can help you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Makonde. Thank you so much for sharing with us the information. That was Mr. Makonde, who is a human rights and constitutional law expert and a public prosecutor working in the victim-friendly court. The message still remains the same. If you are a victim of gender-based violence and you are suffering in silence, please speak out. There are a lot of people available to help you. Our courts are available to help you. This is not a struggle for you alone. It is everyone's struggle. Until we meet again, let us orange the world. Goodbye.